Alright, so it looks like we're ready to go here. This is a warm-up round. It looks like it's going to be on Minery. A relatively newer map by Incursion, which is also in the tournament.
Minery's got like it has so many like large sections where you need to know you need to grapple or you need to do the correct spam grapple timing, and then also it has a couple sections where you need to grapple up in like a very specific fashion. I'd say it's a very good strong warm-up map. Those are just like two kind of basic skills that are like involved with every map that you do. Like grappling up at specific angles and knowing spam grapple timing.
Yeah, so it looks like both players playing pretty well so far, unsurprisingly. As I mentioned, both players are Platinum off-season. They both they're both able to play rather well. I believe both are well practiced, have been playing a lot recently.
I think Derpiculous is the one and only NA representative in this tournament. So
oh yeah, so there may be some fans of him, I guess, from North America.
I believe I have actually played with both of these players before, and I believe they've both done very well against me, and not that necessarily says much anymore. Still, I know that Derpiculous has been pretty good in the community recently. He's maybe not the best, but he's definitely been a rising name for sure. So it'll be interesting to see how far. I haven't played with Novasto. I don't know. In a little while, so I'm not entirely sure how good he is anymore, but I know that when I used to play him, he was...
Yeah, so it looks like Derpiculous also opting to use that America skin. I'm not actually sure what the official name of that is, but it is one of the secret characters in the game, unlockable with a command. Alright, it is the Salad, or Dallas skin, but the command I think is Salad, if I'm not mistaken.
So we're gonna go into the Mansion yet again.
Yeah, it looks like Mansion being a very popular map this tournament.
We haven't actually seen all the routes on Mansion yet, so Derpiculous is trying to go for the I don't want to say the fastest route necessarily, but definitely the hardest route to hit. Because, but anyways, it's you grapple downward into the chute, and then you can just barely grapple that top grapple from below the doors. Very precise, but it gets you quite a lot of speed.
Yeah, so it looks like Derpiculous doing rather well on this map. We'll have to see if Novato has something to say about that. It looks like he does, as he's taking a very substantial lead right now in this third round.
Oh, unfortunate mistake from Nova there.
Yeah, unfortunately, barely missing that little opening. Oh, it looks like Derpiculous trying to come in with a cheeky hook, try and drop Novato on the spikes potentially, but is not able to do that.
So I've always said that the ball is the most powerful weapon in the game, or at least one of them, because it has so much goddamn hit stun. So I wanted to see how I was hoping that Nova might be able to just turn it around with that ball there. If you can get ahead of somebody or really close, it can really just destroy them.
Oh, and it looks like Novato getting a drill, which I think may be the right choice here, possibly. Although it looks like he doesn't even use it.
Oh my goodness, what a good position to be in.
This may be very good for him, since he can just go out ahead like this right here, as we see. There's no boost on
Oh.
either player, but
Just barely having too much speed and missing the
which
Oh,
is
that-
something that can happen with the drill, and generally players are pretty good about adjusting their speed for those kinds of things, but it is very easy to mess up, so there's
He actually, I think he had too much speed to adjust for. He did turn around, so like he just didn't. Very unfortunate.
yeah, the drill being a blessing and a curse.
But I could be wrong.
Oh, and it looks like N0V getting the hook on Derpiculous, bringing him back a little bit. They're now both quite even, right here. Oh, and Derpiculous actually getting a hook around the corner into the top section.
So yeah, that's the strategy. It's very difficult to do, but if you practice it a lot, it is just one timing. If you get a consistent set. So I guess looks like Derpiculous is really putting the effort in this match.
Yeah, and I believe this is the first round going to the Derpiculous.
Derpiculous just, I think he just outperformed at the end there. It didn't look like there was anything too messed up that N0V did.
Just to clarify in the chat, the last round was a warm-up on Minery. Looks like we're going to be choosing City Run here, which I believe is the top-rated workshop map of all time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it might be. I'm not sure. I know that it's definitely it's either City Run or Speed City Nights, I believe. But I don't know.
Yeah, both maps being made by map creator JM Anime, which tends to be popular among the community. Making a lot of interesting maps, usually with a lot of routes, a lot of small sections, but still with a lot of speed.
Yeah, he has a very interesting map design. A lot of creative ideas came from him. Not all of them were as good as others, but of the ones that were really good, you see these maps that are just so successful for so long. I believe Speed City Nights and City Run have both been in random workshops since the...
Oh, it looks like Derpiculous hitting the wall here. And yes, I do agree with that. I think a lot of his maps are very experimental, and that tends to work out for him more than not.
So it's interesting to note here that you can actually take the top... Ooh!
Ooh. Yeah, it looks like Derpiculous getting a bit unlucky there, although bringing it back just in time to get in that boost.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Oh, no.
Not only
That hurt
did he
to watch.
But N0V was trying to avoid it, so he went high to try and jump over it, and he ended up still getting hit. So when he hit the staircase, he got sent backward. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, and there's unfortunately not very much you can do in that circumstance. When you get iced, your momentum just carries you wherever the map wants it to.
Yeah, the ice can be very brutal.
Yeah, but it can also be very good. It can help you maintain your speed on certain sections as well going forward.
Interesting routing there from N0V, or Derpiculous, not N0V. Sorry, he went under the trigger that with the boost tunnels that most people normally take. It looked like it worked out very.
Often a lot of these routes being very similar in speed, but the pathing can help out, especially when other players are not expecting it and maybe using their items in the wrong place. Result.
You can also throw other people off if you know how to do many routes and you have a smaller camera, because it'll force other players to take the same route as you. they may not have as much experience taking that route.
Oh, that ice just barely not hitting, and I think
That was a very nice dodge. Wow. Just barely sliding under it right before the stairs, and then right as the ice beam ends, that's when he managed to. That's when the stairs.
yeah, and I think Novato is really hoping to get that ice. Although, again, with the ice mechanics, that slope might have actually helped Derp out more than it would have helped Striker. Or Novato, sorry, I'm still thinking about the last game apparently.
That was a very nice. That was a nice try for that block. He wanted to block it for taking the top route. He tried to do it far enough away that after you hit the box, you wouldn't be able to just like you wouldn't be able to brute force your way into the shortcut by hitting the boxes.
Oh, and it looks like both players missing the VIP lounge, which doesn't happen too often in these games, I would say.
That rocket really chasing after Derp.
And it looks like both players cautious about each other's items. They opt not to go for the top route, probably because Novato was worried about that rocket and Derp was worried about that hook.
That hook was very good, though. It ended up messing Derp just enough to force him off the back when he did the turn there. That rocket also got rid of some of the black boxes just there that are permanent or semi-permanent, but if you get rid of them, they stay gone for the entirety of the match. So now they'll have a little bit more leeway when it comes to that.
Yeah, it also opens up some possible routes that are not vastly different on this map, but on some maps they can cause quite a difference in the terrain.
Interesting use of the bomb there. He used it to get to the farther away grapples to make it a little easier on himself, and perhaps gain a little bit more speed as well.
Looks like Derpiculous trying to get that bomb out in time to prevent Novato from entering the VIP lounge, but just barely missing that.
That was if you put that box just a little bit higher, I think it would have guaranteed hit N0V, but at the end it didn't matter. Still managed to get the round off the camp, just far enough ahead.
Yeah, it looks like Derpiculous opting to get rid of more boxes on purpose, which is an interesting play.
It does actually introduce a whole other route that you can take there then, because you can go up high rather than going low. So that should be interesting as well, because it also means that items become less funneled there, which can be quite helpful if you end up finding yourself behind the other opponent player. Like
I would say it was a very risky play just because he lost a lot of speed there, where he could have been very easily punished for that.
And then not even opting to use the shortcut that he cleared, and not quite having enough distance to clear the gap, so he didn't make it into the VIP room.
Oh, I wonder what happened there. Looks like Derpiculous possibly being hit by that item. Maybe a desync. Both players opting to go top. I have a feeling we might see this ice soon. Looks like we did, but was not quite timed correctly to make a difference there.
Almost managed to stop N0V from grappling, but not quite. He still had just enough boot. For goodness, these two characters look too similar to me sometimes. I think I said the names wrong.
At least you didn't call him Striker. But yeah, it looks like both players playing rather well here. One of them hitting the box there, which slowed them down a little bit, but not enough to really matter.
That was a strange hook. I'm not sure what quite was going on there.
Looks like Novato has the ice here, which can be powerful again on this corner, as it can completely stop you. There are no slopes to help you out as there are on the last map.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, but I think
Finally
that will
landing
be
an ice
game. Another ice beam, bringing it in for him.
It can be very hard to avoid those ice beams, especially in sections where you can fling yourself upward or downward with a lot of momentum. Ice beam kind of covers the horizontal part of the track very well, but it doesn't cover the verticals, right? So if you can go up or down, that's how you make it very strong.
Alright, it looks like we're gonna have Pitfall again. I think this is the first time we've had this today.
Yes,
Although
it
it
is.
was very popular yesterday.
We're already seeing some nice grappling coming out from Derp there. Some very nice spam grapples. Contributing to this overwhelming lead now.
Yeah, it looks like Novato opted to go into the boost route there, which is a reasonably good catch-up, but often not gone for over the normal grapples. It's very situational. There's only a small time frame where that's useful, and I think he used it in just the right circumstance there, brought himself back in the game.
Derpiculous kind of showing just how good he is at this map. Wow, he's really just. It looks like he's just outperforming Nova, but to be 100% real. There's not a whole lot of item interaction I'm seeing.
Yeah, this map does tend to come down to grapples when, you know, when one person messes up, it's very easy for the other to just take the lead and win. There's not very much time to recover in this map.
What? I'm very surprised that Derp managed to dodge that ice beam.
Yeah, it looks like possibly a little bit of latency here. As, of course, both players coming from different countries, different continents, it's not uncommon to see some item desyncs. Looks like Novato holding on to that rocket. It might have been looks like hoping to get it here in the tunnel. Not quite able to hit because Derpiculous wasn't quite close enough to make it work.
It seems like Nova is just not quite able to do it with his items. His items seem very inconsistent. Some of them seem very strong, but some of them seem oftentimes kind of weak. Ooh, Derp jumping a little too high there, hitting that flat wall. Gonna cost him the round.
Although with 2 points already, he's got a bit of slack here. He just needs to make sure he doesn't throw. I think Novato might be playing a little bit more carefully now, however, knowing how Derp has been playing the first 2 rounds. Oh, looks like that rocket coming back, trying to dodge it by making a quick turn, but wasn't quite fast enough for that.
Rockets on corners are just deceptively good. They're usually on a corner. A rocket almost always has just enough space to turn, I find. So when you use them on a corner, a lot of the time it seems like you should be able to easily dodge them, but they actually will manage to just barely not get hit and hit anything and still.
Alright, so it looks like we're on match point. Derpiculous, 1 game away potentially from winning, so we'll have to see what Novato has to say about that.
Going into Oasis Abyss. This is another fan favorite. We've seen this map a lot, not quite as much as Pitfall. And Derp just getting off to an early. It looked like Nova hit a box somewhere early on, and that just spiraled out. And Derp took the momentum and just spiraled it.
Yeah, it's very easy to snowball your lead when one player messes up, especially when both players are as good as these guys. There's not very much room for mistakes. One box can just end the game very quickly.
See a little bit of difference in route there. Nova opting to take the bottom route. At that Ooh, Derp has a bomb. This could be quite fatal for Nova if he uses it properly.
Yeah, it is a very strong position, although you may need to take into consideration that
Oh,
it
very.
looks like he actually makes that bomb and takes that win.
Yeah, I was getting a little worried as well.
I was just about to say they were very close to each other, which
They got very close.
doesn't necessarily mean that they can hit each other due to the ping between them. And it looks like that door actually almost catching Novato by surprise. Them spawning a little bit in front of it.
Nova used his golden grapple there to get rid of the block that Derp just placed to make sure he's still at speed. He's staying like speed on screen. That was.
Oh, and that box actually very devastating for Novato there. Although perfect grapple from Novato around the corner gets him back.
Nice
back
ball.
in the game.
Get knock some into the lane.
Both players carrying fairly strong items in this section. Maybe we'll see using that. Ooh.
That was a nice trip.
Yeah, looks like Derpiculous got tripped into the corner there in a very non-ideal spot. And so we may see Derpiculous coming back here, even though it looked pretty bad for him in the first 2 rounds.
Getting tripped on corners can be especially brutal because necessarily get to your grapples in time, but it looks like it didn't matter.
And it looks like
to get that.
Looks like Derpiculous actually getting iced there, but it didn't matter with Novato barely getting caught off screen in the boost tube. Very unfortunate.